Hi everyone, welcome to class today. My name is Jessie. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to hop right in today. We're doing a 30-ish minute hip opening class, so not effortless, but not anything crazy intense. If you have blocks, you're welcome to practice with blocks under your hands the entire time. It will give you a little bit more space. Some of the core stuff we do, it'll give you a little bit more room there too. So I'm not going to use blocks today, but if you have blocks, literally blocks under the hands in down dog and in all of the stuff that we do, that'll work perfectly fine. So grab them if you want them and meet me just in a kneeling position. Again, you can sit on a block here and taking it in between your feet if you'd like. And then just take a second to roll your shoulders up by your ears. And then let them fall down your back. You can bring your palms to rest on your thighs. Invite in a nice deep breath in through your nose. And sigh it out through your mouth. And seal your lips and just find your Ujjayi breath. And just witness how your breath fills up your low belly, your rib cage, and your chest. Let one smooth exhale, take the breath out, exhaling from the top of your chest to the bottom of your belly. And just witness the expansion and contraction that happens as you breathe. And as you inhale, your diaphragm gets pressed down and flattens as your lungs inflate. And as you exhale, you lift your pelvic floor, your low belly, and knit your front ribs together, creating some engagement in the core center. And just take a couple more breaths like this. Allowing all of your awareness to land here. If there's anything that's still lingering or on your mind, you can bring awareness to it and then mentally just place it off to the side for the next 30 minutes. And after your next breath out, just softly blink your eyes open. And we'll make our way right up into a down dog today. So spread your fingers wide, lift yourself up and back. And once you arrive here, you can take a moment to pedal out your feet. Sway your hips side to side. Just start to bring some movement into your legs. And then begin to settle into your heels. Press into your fingertips firmly so that you draw length up your arms. Slightly externally rotate your shoulders as you soften your heart towards your feet. Relax your head. And then draw your low belly in and up as you press your thighs back, really creating some space in the back of your hamstrings. With your next breath in, take your right leg all the way up towards the sky. Point your right toes down, press firmly into your left heel, even if it doesn't touch the floor. Then press your left thigh back. Keep pressing into both hands. Good. And we'll take our right leg straight out towards the right. So point your toes to the right, bring your right leg out to the right, and then shift your shoulders forward. You're going to work towards bringing your right foot and touch your right pinky finger, and then bring it all the way back. And then again, shift forward, right toes to right pinky finger or block, and back again. And again like that, bring it forward, squeeze the outer right glute and your right quad. We have 2 left. Use your exhale to bring the leg forward. This time as you step forward, you'll place your right foot down to the outside of your right hand. Then pause here for a moment. Pull your right hip back, your chest forward, so draw your shoulder blades towards your spine. And then soften your left hip bone so it's not collapsing down, but it's heavy. Lengthen the crown of your head forward, take a nice big breath in. And we'll work towards straightening our right leg out. Maybe flex your right toes towards the sky. Let's move with the breath. Inhale, bend your right knee, draw your chest forward. And exhale to straighten out your leg. Inhale, bend your knee, heart forward. Exhale to straighten. This time bend your knee. Pause here, point your right toes out towards the right. Pull your right hip back. If you can even roll to the pinky toe side of your right foot. Stretch your right arm forward. Keep drawing your left hip up. Pull your right hip back. Then take your right hand behind your head. Draw your chest forward as you twist open towards the right. Pull your right foot towards the back of your mat as you spiral your right ribs open. Firm up your left thigh. Take a big, spacious breath in. And as you exhale, point your right toes forward. Ground your right hand. Take your left heel down, and then you'll have to bring your left toes in line with your heel. So you're in a warrior 2-like stance with your back foot. Then walk your fingertips up and past the left diagonal of your mat. Relax your head, bringing your gaze towards your back foot. Then pull your right hip back, bend into your right knee, but press firmly into your left outer edge of your left foot. And I want your inner thighs working here. So you're squeezing your feet towards one another. It should feel like a little bit of effort. Soften your chest down. And walk your right hand towards the inside of your right foot. We're going to make our way to Skandasana. So point your right toes slightly to the left, and you'll bring your hips down towards your right heel, left toes point up. Now, before we go any further, if this feels like a lot to you right now, you can always sit on a block. You can also stay lifted. Okay, so more like an extended side angle, left hand to hip, peel your left shoulder open. So find whatever works for you. If you're in Skandasana, press your right shoulder into your right inner thigh, stretch your left arm up. Bring your heart forward, maybe look up towards the ceiling. Soften your hips down even more. Take a big breath in. Breath out. And then pivot. Take your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Point all 10 toes forward. Twist all 10 toes to the right. Stretch your right arm up. If you need to, heel toe your right toes back towards your left foot. Stretch your right arm up overhead. And then maybe over your right ear. Keep spiraling your chest open as you draw your right hip bone back. As you inhale, start to lower your hips towards the ground, stretch your right arm towards your back foot. And then exhale, stretch up. Inhale, lower the hips down. Exhale, stretch it up. One more time, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good. Take your right hand down to the top of your mat. Point your right toes forward again. Lift your back heel. You'll lean forward and then spring forward. So you'll step onto your right leg, lift your left leg up, and then take your left leg straight out to the left in line with your shoulder. Lean into your left hand or block. Take a big breath in, lift your left leg a little higher, and then release down into a yogi squat. Same thing as the rest of them, you guys. A block can come underneath your sitting bones here. If this is a lot for you right now, either way, lift your heart. Press your elbows into your inner thighs. Take a couple breaths to make space. We'll take a couple rounds of just 360 breathing. So as you inhale, breathe into the sides of your rib cage. And as you exhale, pull your lower belly and your pelvic floor up. Inhale, expand. Exhale, engage. One more big breath in. Exhale out. And release your palms to the ground or blocks. Send your hips towards the sky, point your toes forward. Inhale, halfway lift, elongate. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale again, lengthen your spine. From here, put a big bend in your right knee, ground your right hand under your face, take your left arm towards the ceiling. Send your left hip back, breathing into your left hip and hamstring. Inhale, get a little bit bigger. And exhale, release, left hand to the ground. Halfway lift, breath in. Bend your left knee, take your right arm up. Pull your heart forward towards the top of your mat. And then spiral your right ribs open as you press your right hip bone back. With your exhale, release both hands to the ground. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And then step your feet back into your plank pose. Hold here for a moment. Option to take a chaturanga push-up. And then make your way back into your down dog. Inhale your left leg all the way up. Press your right hip back. Press firmly into both hands. Then we'll point our left toes to the left. And you'll work towards bringing that left pinky toe or left big toe up to your left pinky finger. And then sending it all the way up and back. And again, exhale it forward. Press the ground away to make more space. Stay with me. We've got two more. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, breath in. And this time as you exhale, place your left foot outside your left hand. Point your left toes forward. A lot of people want to kind of sag their hips down here, you guys. I want you to soften the right hip, but pull your feet together so there's some engagement in your legs. As you breathe in, straighten through your left leg, flexing your toes towards the ceiling if that's an option. Remember, blocks under the hands is a great tool here. Stick your butt out as you draw your belly button forward. Inhale, bend your left knee. Exhale to extend. Again, inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. One more, bend and extend. This time as you bend your knee, pause here. Take your left arm and reach it forward. Point your left toes slightly to the left, and then pull your left hand behind your head. Press into your right arm as you twist to your left. Squeeze those inner thighs, hugging your legs towards the midline. Then press into your right arm even more, drawing your right shoulder towards your right hip. Big, spacious inhale. And then softly release. Point your left toes forward. Take your left hand to the ground. And then you'll lower your right heel down to find that warrior two stance with your back foot. Walk your fingertips towards the upper right diagonal of your mat. Let your head be heavy. Squeeze those inner thighs as you press into the pinky toe side of your right foot. Your left butt cheek is kind of going to want to stick out to the left. I want you to pull your left hip towards your right foot. Make your way into Skandasana or that extended side angle version. So either right hand to your hip, open up, or point your left toes slightly right. Bring your butt towards your left heel, right toes lift, right arm lifts up. Press the back of your left arm into your left inner thigh. Pull your right shoulder back, gaze up. Take up a little bit more space with your next breath. Maybe there's room to soften your right hip towards the ground. And then find the twist. Take your right hand to the ground. Lift your back heel up, pivoting all 10 of your toes forward, and then everything to the left. Take your left arm up. Heel toe your left foot back to make a little bit more space for yourself. And then send your hips up as you draw your left arm over your left ear. Peel your chest and ribs open towards the sky. Activate both feet so you're flexing your right toes here. Inhale as you lower down. Hips come towards the floor. Reach your left arm back towards your right foot. Exhale, press up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, press. One more time. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Take both hands to the top of your mat. Point your toes forward. And then you'll lean forward, lift your right leg up, and then bring your right leg straight out to the right. Pulling your right quad towards your right shoulder. Lean into your right hand. Squeeze your right glute med to lift your leg a little higher. Big inhale. And exhale, yogi squat. Hips to the ground or hips to a block. Lift your chest. Bring your hands to your heart. Open your legs wide. Take a nice big breath in through your nose. Breath out through your mouth. Good. One more inhale. As you exhale, draw your low belly, your pelvic floor up and in. Then from here, you guys will make our way all the way down to a seat. So you're just gonna drop your hips down, take your legs out in front of you. So I wanna bend in your knees here. And you'll lean back into your hands for a moment and cross your right leg over your left thigh. So right ankle over your left thigh. Draw your left heel in, and then to make it even more intense, you draw it in even more. Okay, if it's too much, you keep your foot out. And I want you to push your right thigh out as you puff your chest up towards your right ankle. Just take a couple breaths here. Your wrists can be turned in whatever direction's comfortable for you. So your fingers can turn back or forward. Bring softness into your face. An option to take this one a little bit further, you're going to heel toe your left foot towards the right side of your mat, and then lower your left knee down and pull your hips back so that your right knee lines up over your left foot. If your left leg is sticking up in the air a little bit like mine, you're welcome to take a block or a pillow in between your leg and your foot for a little support. You can lean back into your hands and just lift your chest. Flex both of your feet. If a fold feels good, you can walk your arms forward. Especially if you're a little bit tighter in your hips, this rotation is really challenging for me actually. And if that's the case, I'd rather see you lifted like I am, keeping a nice flat back, elongating your lower spine rather than kind of dumping into a big curve. Every body is just so different. Some people are going to, mechanically their hips are built in a way where they're going to open very easily in this direction. And if that's you, great. Let yourself settle into the stretch. You can lie down over your thighs. And if it's not you, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. It's literally, for a lot of people, just the way that your bones are built, the way that your bone structure is. It does have to do with muscle tension sometimes, and sometimes it's literally just structure. So you could stretch all you want and still never get into the full, flattened expression of this pose, and that's okay. Who cares? You're stuck with me. Try to relax your face, relax your shoulders. We'll take about 5 more big breaths here. And slowly make your way back up to your fingertips, and then stack shoulders over hips. Lean back and unravel your legs. You can stretch them out for a moment. Give them a little kick, and then bend your knees again. And we'll come right over to the other side. So left ankle will cross over your right thigh. You can walk your right heel towards your glutes to make it a little bit more intense. Turn your hands to whatever way feels good. Flex your left toes and then press your left thigh and left knee away from you as you bring your chest towards your shin bone. And if you want to take this further, again, you can stay as you are. You can even come down to your forearms, you guys. I'm sorry I didn't mention that on the other side. If this is too much, you make your way down to your forearms. Otherwise, heel toe your left ankle towards the left side of your mat. And then just arrange yourself so your shins are more or less in one line on top of each other. And if you're like me and there's a little bit of tightness there, it's not going to be perfect, right? They're going to be a little bit staggered. If you're super open, you'll be able to find that they stack just like fire logs on top of each other. So flex your feet. And then either you stay lifted or you gradually make your way into a forward fold. And really do your best to soften your body here. So especially when the sensation gets pretty intense, which it probably will, that's when we go inwards, we elongate the breath. And do your absolute best not to resist or tense up in response to that sensation. The more you can physically soften your body, the faster that tension is going to flow through and out. And sometimes classes like this are just perfect for when we're holding on to something emotional, right? Or you know that you're in a stressful part of your week or month or whatever it may be. Hip opening and heart opening is one of the best things you can do to keep that emotion kind of flowing through your body when it gets stagnant and you get stuck in a really intense emotion, that's when you can kind of feel like you're drowning in it. So it's important to take the time to let yourself feel what you need to feel and also let it move through. Take the time that you need, but let it pass through you when the time is right. Take 5 more big breaths. Softly lean back into your hands. Unbind your legs. Stretch them out in front of you. Give them a little kick, knee taps. And we'll come up into one reverse tabletop real quick. So bring your fingers to face forward. Just to open up through the front of your hips. Puff your chest up. And then lift your hips up. And bring a gentle engagement into your glute muscles so that your hip flexors have the opportunity to open. Look straight up, and then bring your shoulder blades, your scapulas in towards each other as if they're poking up through the back of your heart. And softly release your hips down. Let's go ahead and lie down. Bring your feet together to touch your knees wide. We're going to make our way into Supta Baddha Konasana. Lying all the way down onto your back. Again, another good opportunity to use your blocks, you guys, is to prop your thighs up, especially if your legs are tight. If they have a little bit of support, they're going to be able to open and relax a little bit easier. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Let your jaw soften, your eyes sockets soften as your eyelids close. And just acknowledge all the space that you've created in your hips so far today. Maybe there's a ripple effect kind of bounding through the rest of your body, even though the focus was on the hips. Just let your awareness linger over your physical body and your emotional body in this moment. And we'll use this posture as our Shavasana today, so if you would like to straighten your legs out, you're welcome to do so. We won't be here for long, so really drop in and let yourself remain in this quiet space with you. here. So gently draw slightly deeper breaths in and out through your nose. Maybe taking a couple exhales through your mouth. Just letting go of any lingering residue. You can walk your feet out as you draw your knees together. And just let your knees fall from side to side like windshield wipers. And stretch your arms overhead, catching opposite elbows. When you're ready, just roll over onto whatever side you'd like today. And then support yourself as you bring yourself up into a seated position. Bring your hands into your heart and just congratulate yourself on making space for your practice today. 30 minutes it's a lot, and also it's not a lot, and that it's easier to convince yourself to show up for you. Chances are you probably could have gone for a lot more, unless you're on a time restriction. Either way, acknowledge yourself for showing up for yourself today. And let's choose to go throughout the rest of our day today with so much love and ease and grace. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Great job. Congratulations on showing up. Hope your hips feel good, and have a wonderful day. Mwah.